So as live events have migrated to from linear to digital, there's a reason why they have migrated. We saw during the rise of COVID, first and foremost, an increase in a significant, steep increase in consumption of digital video. What we've also seen over the course of time is this evolution of, it used to be the top 100 programs, let's say, in linear were entertainment programs. We've seen a shift happen where over 90% now of programming in linear is sports and live events. And so what happens is people want to capitalize on that in the digital world, and that has translated over to the digital space. And it has first happened in a very direct insertion order perspective, moving a little bit from there to PG, and now a programmatic way of dealing with media. And I think that has sort of turned the tide in terms of like how we're looking at digital live events and sports and the interest in it.
Yeah, and just as a follow-up to that, I understand there have been technical challenges with it, but do you see those kind of getting ironed out? I mean, this idea of being able to put ads into live events that are streamed?
Yeah, well, so it's funny because I think one of the big challenges we've seen is the rights deals with all of the sports companies. So as rights have now starting to switch hands, we're seeing sort of more of the direct inventory, where it literally mirrors what you see in the linear broadcast on the digital broadcast. Now we're seeing more rights deals happening where you can dynamically insert within the digital landscape, and I think that will evolve over time as these rights deals tend to find their way more towards a digital first way of streaming. I also think to your point, from a technological standpoint, there's a lot of, I think, technology that still needs to evolve, and I think there's a lot of the standards that we have need to evolve to be able to accommodate a dynamically ad-inserted environment.
Oh, that's really interesting. So yeah, with dynamic ad insertion, which ideally is real time, right? What else can you tell us about that and how it's evolving?
Yeah, so I think dynamic ad insertion, or at least the move into programmatic sports and live events within the digital space, what it has really done is it has democratized the inventory. And so what that means is people who did not normally have access to that inventory now have access to that inventory. And I think a rising tide lifts all boats. So we see benefit in multiple areas. We see benefit in the first point of people who could not necessarily afford to be in a sports environment before, which we know is an environment that consumers are consuming their content, can now dip their toes into the water in that space and be in that space where they might not have been able to show up before. On the flip side, we see a benefit to our partners in that they have a wider swath of advertisers that they can then bring into the fold and increase the monetization of their inventory. And I heard a stat the other day that like tens of thousands of new brands are going to be coming into the programmatic space. And so I think that this gives an opportunity for all of these brands to sort of touch some events like sports and live events that they couldn't do that in the past.
And so these brands that are coming in, it's not necessarily just local brands, is it? Like your local car dealership or whatever? Is it really across any kind of category beyond local as far as who's coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it can be a brand that was direct to consumer first that has kind of tapped out all of their lower funnel metrics and are now looking to sort of find their next wave of consumers by having a more mass reach opportunity like programmatic sports to dip their toes into and get a new round of viewers to consume.
Well, that's great. Thanks again, Jessie, for spending time with us this afternoon. So looking ahead, is there anything you're excited about or perhaps you'd like to see happen in the space?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I'm excited for moving forward is just all of the innovation. Just listening to everyone at Beet this week and getting to hear all of the exciting things that are happening, whether it's contextual advertising, whether it's creative targeting, whether it's interesting ad units that are coming into the space. I think that there's so much exciting stuff happening. So I'm looking forward to having more opportunities for my clients to lean into interesting ways to reach their consumers beyond just serving them an ad in a linear or digital environment.